Either good afternoon, good morning, parent folks. This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bobby Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's Tuesday. Uh,
That it is.
Nothing special about Tuesday. Well, when I used to work at my old job, I used to work in a gentleman's club. It was
Mhm.
$2 Tuesday. Get in the club for $2, and it was up to about midnight. That was the big
That's a
thing. But
steal.
yeah, that's still up to about 11 o'clock, and then after that, you paid the regular price.
Mhm.
But anyway, folks, this week is the peak week for the Tampa Bay Pro. The list came out. We did a little live yesterday, and it came out later that evening. Stacked to some divisions.
Mhm.
Women's bodybuilding, we have a good amount of number of ladies. I wish there were a little more, but still, we have a good, round number. Instead of just maybe a few here and there. And also, the other divisions are very stacked. And this young lady, she just got a pro card just about what was it, about 2, 3 weeks ago.
Almost. We're coming up on 4 weeks.
Yeah, about four, just about at the
Time
universe.
flies.
She competed both in women's physique and figure. She won in her class in women's physique, and she took second in her class in figure. We have the lovely Mrs. Jayna Ferri, and and we want to appreciate and thank you for your time. I saw an interview with my man David, so I like to get these new pros fresh off the line, but she's already been used. My man David already got his hand on him, so he always gets his hands on my girls. I mean, I love David, my brother, but I'm sorry, we'll get into that later. So, Jenna, thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you here. So, young lady, I'll ask you this question: what got you started in sports? I call it muscle and masculinity. Please share.
So my mom, she owned her own business, from literally like as far back as I can remember. And she ran her own gym, and she actually competed. She competed in a bunch of stuff. She competed in bodybuilding, she did powerlifting, she did CrossFit, she did a bunch of different stuff. But pretty much from like as far back as I can remember, like being super, super young, I was always with her. I was always in the gym environment. Obviously, like I saw how she ate and everything. Um, it was almost kind of just like bound for me to get into it. It was like, all right, when is she gonna start taking an interest into it? So when I was like 13 years old, I started just like lifting in general. I just like loved to be strong. I loved just like feeling strong in the gym. I thought it was like super empowering. And then probably around like 16 or so, I got more into bodybuilding. So I started like tracking my food. It definitely wasn't as big on social media obviously back then as it is now. So whatever I saw is like I liked it and I just wanted to do that same thing. So that's kind of how I got into bodybuilding. And then obviously I didn't really know much, especially like there wasn't a ton of information out there either. And then when I was 17, I hired my first coach. And literally, like that first year that I really started like bodybuilding style training and like tracking my food and stuff, um, oh, I knew I wanted to compete. That's literally all I wanted to do. But obviously, I was so young and I was so new to it. So I hired my first coach when I was 17. I learned a lot, and I never actually stepped on stage until it was actually the day after my 21st birthday. So I did my first show when I was 21, which actually funny story, that first show, that venue was the same venue as Universe. So I did my first show there and I also turned pro at that venue. So it was pretty cool. But so yes, that's kind of how I got into it and how I got started. But my mom was definitely like a huge influence for me. I literally just like wanted to just be like her and do everything she did. So I was just always in that environment, and it just like obviously I got into it through that. So
Yeah, to be so young, as one man would say, you were still, breast milk Similac and wet behind the ear. My man Jerome, international player from the Himalayas, he say it like that. And it's good that your mother influenced you to be in something like bodybuilding from a young age, because it's a extreme sport,
yeah.
and and especially for people at the outside, they look at it. When you to this bodybuilding, it's about I take this kind of pills and I get all big and muscly, but there's more to it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, but like when I started, all I cared about was literally just being strong. I just loved being strong. I still carry that into my training today, but that was like the most like empowering feeling for me. Like I didn't care about like obviously I was super young, so I just ate what I wanted and did just went to the gym and lifted weights. That was really it. But yeah, that's literally like the strength thing was huge for me. And then obviously when I got into bodybuilding, then it was like more about the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, that's been ages ago. I used to love to lift weights when I was in high school. I played football and, other sports. I was a country boy. We grew up, we had to chop wood, pump water. My family was sharecroppers. We worked the land. I mean, we grew up strong. And it's just that feeling when you in the gym. We had the old fashioned weights, pure iron. You just hear that cleaning, you hear the guys just lock it out. It was just a sensation, but then I got a job and I got into the real world, and then this is
Life
what you got now.
happens.
Yeah, it's happened. And then
Yeah.
to get your pro card at the universe, the same venue they have the New York Pro, it's a
Mhm.
full circuit event for you.
Yeah, 100%. It was like I was like, cause I did junior nationals before Universe, and obviously I was hoping to turn pro there. But that show in itself, like that, even though like obviously I didn't get my pro card, I went all the way to Tennessee. If I didn't do that show, I would have never crossed over and did physique, which I'm gonna stick with physique like into my pro career. So that was a huge like realization for me, and I'm happy obviously that I did junior nationals and then followed up and did Universe, and then like you said, like such a full circle moment for me to get my pro card there. And then like obviously that was also where I did my first show too. So
Yeah. I interviewed a lady, Miss Holly Hines. She got her pro card at the Junior Nats.
yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
her. Mhm.
and she lives in Alabama, so it was just a drive from where she stayed at. But also, she's making her pro debut this weekend at the Tampa Bay Pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's doing and she's figure, so she's doing the
Yeah.
open and she's doing the 40 plus class. She's a nice
Okay.
lady. Her and her boyfriend Gator run their own gym back in Alabama. Also the promoters. So like for you, what is the what really what's really what drives your passion for the sport of bodybuilding other than just being inspired by your mom?
I love just like old school training. Like I'm really big on that. Like that's definitely 100% my vibe. It's honestly like if bodybuilding didn't have a stage to it, like I would still be doing exactly what I do every single day. Like I love to train. I love the routine of it. I love the regimen. I love that like every day, like you're literally progressing every single day. It's like your ceiling is unlimited and it's like essentially like you are the only one who's like I feel like that's such a testament to like your hard work as a person. So I love the grit, I love the work behind it. But honestly, I love trading. I love trading. Like big, like old school, like UK Dorian Yates, like that's totally my vibe.
Oh, you talking old school here? Huh? You weren't even around when Dory Yates was hitting the you were the twinkle in your daddy's eye. But yeah, like I said, I remember guys like when Arnold was competing, and then Lee Haney, can't forget Lita Brada, those guys, because I grew up in the good part of the '80s. Bodybuilding used to be on television back in the day. You could catch it on
Really?
network television. Yeah, NBC, ABC used to carry it. ESPN used to carry it. But now they're showing cornhole and throwing darts and pillow fighting. I mean, I just
Who wants to watch that?
well, that's what because bodybuilding is such a strange sport. People like to find something more comfortable, and always going to be accusation because of the use of steroids and performance enhancers. But again,
Yeah.
you see it in like I do content also on mixed martial arts, and you
Okay.
see in sports like MMA, baseball, football, basketball. I mean, it's almost everywhere. But because this sport is very extreme, and because everybody acquaintance with the size and muscle development with the use of steroids, but it's more than that have to be consistent with a diet. You have to be persistent. You have to be disciplined because it's not as easy as people think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. It's like it's definitely is not something everyone can do. It definitely is a lot.
So, what that experience like for you at first time? Because you've been waiting for it since you were a little girl, and now I get this opportunity to be on stage and just present yourself.
It's well, I'll never forget the first show I did. I was so nervous. Honestly, I didn't know what I was doing at all. I didn't even know before I did my first show, which is like this is also something that I 100% recommend to first time competitors. Watch a show before you go up there just to even see how it's run. But obviously my first show, I was super nervous. I didn't know what was going on. And then but like going into Universe, I was super confident. I was super excited. Um Obviously like I had like that fire like lit too, since obviously like I didn't get my pro card at like junior nationals. So I came in a little bit tighter for Universe, and I was just super excited to just present that. But obviously like being on stage, I feel like it's like the anticipation like before you go on like for the first time. It's like you get all like the adrenaline, like you get a little bit nervous, and then you go on, you get like the first like initial jitters out the way, and then you're like, all right, I got this. So but
Yeah.
yeah, Universe, I was super excited.
Yeah, it's experience. Like you got to think about it. Most people wouldn't want to walk on across the stage nearly butt naked and have people staring them up and down like you're a piece of meat and being
Yeah,
judged. But
it's
you know
true.
what? I my conversation with you ladies. This is the story they tell me. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. To do
Mhm.
something maybe like somebody say, "I'm an introvert." But I'm telling you, if you're introvert, why are you walking nearly butt naked on the stage? You're not that introverted. Don't give me that crap.
Yeah.
Shout out to we have some guests here popping in. Shout out to here. Give me a second. I put my old man glasses on because my eyes are going a little bit. It says this is for a man. Thomas, he says this. He says, "Yellow baby girl, you ain't got a fan." Also, shout out
Thomas,
to my
what's
man
up?
Black Panther. Says, "Hi George, this is Black Panther." I know, brother. You don't have to tell you name every time.
Black
Also, he says
Panther.
this says, "Miss Ferry, where are you originally from?"
So I grew up in New Jersey. Obviously, I still live in New Jersey too.
Hmm,
I'm a Jersey
Well,
girl.
Well, I got family. My father lived in New Jersey, and my aunts, lived up there. They lived in Patterson. That's
Okay, North
yeah,
Jersey.
yeah. I remember I was growing up. People, because you listen to my voice, I don't have that very technical Southern accent, and people always ask me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Well, I used to say like this. My parents they moved to New Jersey when I was young. We came back down here when they broke up." So
Hmm.
people ask me, when I do that, but I'm getting older. I can catch it every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Jersey is like I know quite a few ladies like this. Um, Michelle Moon, she's from Jersey. Sheena Olick.
Shit,
Uh,
name sounds familiar.
I forgot which Michelle is her last name, but she always goes by. Her name is Michelle Johnson, but she goes
Okay.
by Michelle Moon. I think she's a hairdresser somewhere around there. Sheena
Oh.
Olick. I mean, there's a big contingency of bodybuilders in the Jersey area.
Yeah, 100%. Even like the gyms, there's gyms everywhere, like bodybuilding gyms everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like almost too overpopulated with bodybuilding gyms.
I think it goes back to the Jersey Shore, like the like the partying, like because
Yeah, for sure.
I think really put Jersey on the map. Shout out to my man Black Panther. He dropped another comment. Thank you, brother. He says this. He says, Miss Furry, you are the greatest women's physique athlete. Beautiful smile, beautiful hair. You are the greatest. Yeah, she knows that,
Thank you,
brother.
sir.
He knows that.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so it's from man Paul. He says, just keep up the good work. You're going to have a great career. And
Thank you.
my brother here, K. Elder Wonder, coming through. He says, what's good? Not much, brother. Thank you for coming through yesterday. Shout out to him. Check
You're
him out.
looking
He
at
also just started here.
it.
Yeah. These guys. Hey, I'm like this. Hey, Jenna. Anytime I get a new girl on here, it's like the episode of the. I think it was before your time, if you remember it, because you're still young. The Dave Chappelle show when Charlie Murphy said like this back in the day when he was partying. He was hanging out with his brother, and he met Prince and his group of people. And one of the guys was a guy named Nikki Free. There was a group called
Mhm.
Shalimar back in the day, and Nikki Free was the new lead singer. But Nikki was actually a dude, but he was so pretty that people thought he was a woman. So it's like you're like Nikki Free say, hey, George got a new girl on here. She fine as a motherfucker. That's how these guys act when I get a chance to talk to you ladies.
Like this is my time to shine.
Yeah, you should shine.
I
And
love it though. I love the support.
that's good because this thing about bodybuilding, because especially for a woman, sports so extreme, and you're gonna have flip sides. You're gonna have the guys who are big fans, and you have people that may not like it so much because you are a woman and you're carrying muscle. And
Yeah.
society always sees like that muscle's supposed to be manly. I'm a man. I don't have muscles. I'm a little bit soft in the middle here and there, but I think it's about what you want to do as an athlete.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. I've definitely faced both sides of that too. I post mostly, I will say, on TikTok. TikTok is a lot worse than like Instagram is. but I've definitely faced both sides of like the hate, the love, everything in between. Obviously, like if you're also like putting yourself out there on social media, it's like it's bound to happen. Nothing ever bothers me, but I've definitely seen both sides of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the thing is, I think people, if you don't like something, here's the best advice: don't say nothing.
yeah.
Mind your business, move on. It's easy just to move up, but some people just need to voice their opinion. Opinion is like an
Mhm.
asshole; everybody has one. Shout out to my
Mhm.
man KL the Wanderer. He's here. He says this. Shout out to him. He says, "We're women bodybuilders of New Jersey." It's a good idea. I think somebody should work on that.
Jersey
Also,
represent.
shout out to my man Black Panther. He says this. He says New Jersey is similar to New York. If I'm from Queens, New York. I don't know.
Uh,
That's a big debate, man. I know you're
that's
from
true.
Queens. There's some people from Jersey wouldn't want to be from like New York, and there's New York people don't want to be like Jersey. There's some things they have similar in some ways, but not so much. You might get in a fight with that, brother. Shout out to my man, KL from New York. He's from Brooklyn. He says, "Why are you telling her all the explicit Nikki Free? You're kidding me, LO. Hey, man, that's my style. You can't. I love him. He's my brother, but he's a hater. He's a hater. He gets like, but like my man, Sean Murphy, like my man, let the hate to hate no more. So, you did nationals. Why the switch? Because you feel like you wouldn't feel like you were better at doing physique than women's than figure.
Yeah, so obviously the only thing I need to work on is my posing because from junior nationals to universe, I literally had like 10 days in between, and I to try and learn a whole new division. So posing 100%, I definitely need to improve there. But I feel like physique, like the division, like the actual poses, fit me a lot better. And I always said like I will never like limit. That goes back to like my training. I'll never limit like my training to like not want to put more size on. So I feel like eventually, obviously, I want to take a long off season too. I think I might get to the limit where I might surpass the figure. So I think physique is the way to go for me. So but I also love the no heels. I do not like those heels. I literally that's like the struggle is it's like walking on stilts.
I know I get quite a few figure painters. I've really been expanding, especially when I started this. I was just mostly reach out to women bodybuilders, but I reach out to for women figure and also women's physique and even
Yeah.
bikini and yeah, I especially those divisions where you do have to wear high heels. And
Hmm.
some ladies they love it. They love the high heels. They wouldn't trade it for the world. Others saying they'd be happy to get those clog hoppers off their feet. I've been told stories from their feet swell till they have to do whatever they can, like their feet be stuck in the feet, like ugh. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think everybody has different experience when they choose a division. Especially we feel like you want to have a division that really works with your aesthetics, especially as your body grows and develops. Because you're still a young lady, and you still
Hmm.
have time to grow and to reach that pinnacle where you could be in WPD.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a comment here. Shout to my man Black Panther. He says this. He says, bodybuilding is not a sport for everyone. It takes time, commitment, patience, and longevity. True. And
That
also
is.
shout out to my man here, KL the Wanderer. He says this. Give me a second. These things got a little slow. He pops up. He says this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He says this says, have you ever went to the New York Pro as a spectator, Jana?
No, I have not. That's actually well, kind of going back to my pro debut. I kept saying that I was gonna do New York Pro 2028 for my pro debut, but I may want to compete sooner than that. So I don't know. If I don't end up competing in the show this year, then I 100% will go watch because it's only like an hour drive for me, so it's not far at all.
Yeah, 2020. So 2020 is the plan you want to take to make your pro debut.
Yeah, so I wanted to take like a full year off and then prep for New York Pro 2028.
That's smart. Like I said, you want to rush into this because you
Yeah.
know. I think some people, like a couple ladies who I've seen, they're making their pro debuts this year. Like Holly, she got her pro card, but she's much older. She has that much maturity, and
Mm-hmm.
you're doing physique because you look at the vision now. It has really
Yeah.
evolved. When it first came out, I think when I asked the ladies who's the one that really got you inspired to, they said Daniel Bailey. But you look at it, Dylan Bailey wouldn't be able to stand with some women now. Even someone like
Yeah.
Jerry McCartney. Is there anybody? that really, for you as a competitor, really inspires you, that you really find interesting, or really just you respect their overall look and their physique?
I love her username on Instagram is Dr. Meg. I forget what her actual last name is.
Megan Morrison. I met her when I went to
Yes.
Tampa last year.
Yes, I love her physique. I love her page and everything too.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
she,
definitely a big one.
yeah, she's a big one. She lives in my next door neighbor in South Carolina, and
Hmm.
she's supposed to be making her return to Atlanta next weekend, where she
Hmm.
got her first ever qualification. She was actually like yourself. She was doing figure before,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and she took a break and she was going to do wellness, but then there was some issue. I think she said was because wellness poses you got to do that awkward kind of
Yeah.
and it's just, I think for some women it's not a division for everyone, because I think it goes with genetics or how your body's built. Everybody, I think each division works with how your body functions and also your overall physique and presentation. Now, one person, and I got to call her out because you know what? I am a fan. I'm a fanboy of hers, and that is the lovely Mrs. Andrea Shaw.
Ooh,
I mean, she's so beautiful.
she is beautiful.
I mean, I actually got to see her once when I went to my first Barbie show back in 2022. That was Savannah Pro, and she was guest posing there, and she was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks away from doing the Rise of Phoenix that year. Even though a friend of mine, shout out to my brother, Mr. Big Keith Williams, he's doing all right. He told me, he said, George, we see Andrea when she's on, she's on. She might be a few weeks out, but once she gets together, she is on. And I always want to give shout out to a friend of mine, my friend Eunice. Eunice, I always want to bring up my hat. Eunice was a company Bad Rap. Bad Rap's moniker is big and defined, ripped and pumped. Right now, this next weekend, they're going to be promoting, sponsoring women's bodybuilding at the Linda Murray Atlanta Pro. I want to give a shout out for that. And Eunice been a guest on my channel, and I got to meet her when I got to go to Tampa last year, hang out with her and friend partner Jolene.
Mhm.
This is the issue of muscle development. It's
Oh,
the last hard copy because they don't do it anymore.
really?
And Eunice sent this to me, I think a few days after my birthday. It
Mhm.
was back in November when they used to have the Olympia in Orlando. And what makes it special, she ran into Andrea.
Oh, you got it signed? No way.
She got it signed. She got it signed. I know I need to keep it in a case or something, but I love it. And I hug it and I call
Yeah,
her
I was gonna say
George.
put that in a case, take it to the grave.
I probably have my family bury me with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's amazing women and representing each division and also the
Mhm.
classes in the bodybuilding. Oh, we have some comments. We got guys live here. They are ready to talk. Shout to my man, Miss Ferry. What activities do you participate in outside of bodybuilding?
Ew, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty boring. Bodybuilding pretty much is like literally my whole life, but like little hobbies that I have outside of bodybuilding, I love to cook, which is like obviously like when you're prepping for a show, I couldn't cook. I had nobody to cook for. I love to cook, I love to bake, and I love to read. I'm a very, very basic gal, if you will. That's pretty much it. But like other than that, like even like my full time job is like all surrounded around bodybuilding and everything. So I'm not very exciting outside of the bodybuilding world.
Well, you know what? Everybody has the things they like to do. Cooking. I like to cook. I'm a big man. I like to cook. And
Mhm.
what's your job? What you do for a living?
So my full-time job, so I do TikTok live sales for Aries Nutrition. The owner of the company is a very good friend of mine. His name is Pat, but I've been with him like pretty much since he started like selling. We're a supplement reseller, so pretty much since he started on TikTok shop, and I run the live streams all week. So that's my full-time job. And then also like on the side we also he has a separate company, it's called I'm Immortal, which sponsored by them as well. They're it's like it's its own entity from Aries Nutrition, if that makes sense. So we have like a Discord with like kind of goes back to TikTok shop with like incentives and stuff for creators. So I run that Discord, and then I also do the live streams.
Yeah. I think with young people, y'all very much into the social media. I'm a bit of a. You can see the gray in my hair. I'm a bit a little long in the tooth. Me and David about the same age. I really, it took me a long time to really get onto social media, but I
Yeah.
use it both as a tool for my social media platform because I'm on YouTube, I'm on IG. I do have a TikTok, but I don't really touch it too often. And
Mm,
Facebook, I jump on there every now and then, but it seems
yeah.
like I think it's becoming a dying media. You think?
Yeah. I feel like it's mostly like my mom and dad are on Facebook.
I feel like I this is now I know I'm old. She said, I'm probably her same age as parents. I, I'm just like the old man here with mama. So, but yeah, I think this is for generations. Shout out to my man Black Panther. He says this. Um, Women's physique is the greatest in New York and New Jersey. Also, this is from 3X Workout says W interview. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Yeah. And also, this is my kid. What is this? Andrea's not women's. Why you showing her? Are you kidding me? Quit being a hater because I got autographs.
Yeah.
You don't. Just hey, I like this. I like this. God bless the haters. You know what? You know what? You care so much, but I care so little. so
Listen, that's the attitude you gotta have.
yeah, you got it because I know for a woman like yourself, dealing with how society views a woman with muscle, you have to have very strong positive attitude because it's tough,
Mhm.
and like especially it's good that your mother and your father support you in doing something like this because I've talked to ladies who tell me that sometimes they lose friendship because you do something very extreme. It's not the typical what everybody else do, especially when you're a young person.
Mhm.
You probably should be out there boogieing all night and partying, and
Yeah.
but what's your regiment like during the week?
So I work from home pretty much 90% of the time. I usually one day a week I go to like the Aries store and we do like a big live usually for like product drops and stuff like that. But I work from home all the other times. So that's very nice. I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that, but my usual schedule, I actually used to be a gym night owl. I used to train at like 8:30 at night. And then when I was competing and stuff, my sleep schedule changed. So I started training a little bit earlier. So I'm still training a little bit earlier. So usually I get up around like 7, eat breakfast. Um, and then usually I get on live for a couple of hours, do client work, whatever else I have to do around the house, and then I'll go train, and then I'll come back, and then basically just rinse, repeat, and then get ready for bed, chill, watch a movie or something, and then go to sleep.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Not exciting at all.
But that the thing is that's part of your, especially with bodybuilding, you need that regiment because you don't want to, especially sleep recovery is very important.
Yeah.
Following a diet is very important. Being
Mhm.
disciplined because most people will not don't have the same discipline when it comes to it because it can easily be distracted by life.
Yeah.
So, folks, what we're going to do is this: while we have Jenna here, we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. If you want to follow her, her links in this live. You can follow. So, also, she's a online coach. So, if you're interested in, work on your own personal lifestyle changes, health reasons why, reach out for genuine interest. But guys, I know she's a nice girl. She's very pretty. But I'll
Thank
tell you
you.
this: I'm going to act like her daddy. Don't y'all damn say any weird shit. I will come for you. I will hurt you because this girl's over to be my child. So
Yeah.
come on, be respectful, guys.
Yeah,
Don't
guys. Thank
yeah
you.
don't be respectful. I appreciate that because I think some people say you because anytime I think anybody, be it if maybe just something hateful or something very explicit, be respectful of
Yes.
the ladies because you know what they don't deserve that. So we're gonna
I
jump
agree.
into Jenna's social media and we're gonna check this. And here she is. She's sitting in the car. We're gonna pull this up and check this out.
Oh, yes. This is I posted this today. This is actually from
Yeah.
Prep.
All right.
Let me tell you, that might be the most judgmental place ever. Like, considering that their motto is no judgment zone, it's like I will literally be like, when you're like walking and someone's coming from the opposite direction and you're like, who's gonna go which way? People literally just stop and just stand there and look at me like I have 10 heads. I'm like, can I help you?
And then I'll be like training, and like 100 feet across the gym, on the polar opposite side of the gym, he'll just grilling me. I'm like, yes, I have muscles. Have you never seen a muscle mommy Sita before? Like, what is going on here? Considering their motto is no judgment zone. I don't get it.
Oh, you talk about
So as
Planet
I'm
Fitness. I
training,
used to work out at Planet
Yes.
Fitness. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very judgmental. Yeah, I've seen some stuff here and there, some competitors here, and here
Oh,
she is doing some
100%.
training. You know, big gentleman.
Fucking Spanish now, let's go. Easy fucking day, come on. That's light for you. There it is. Two, come on. Let's get serious. Come on, get in now. Three, there you go, come on. That's the fucking 5, let's go. Easy now. Come on. 4, come on. At least 1, come on. Get the fuck in here. At least fucking 1. Run that up, there it is. Let's go. Little fucking move, let's go. Bury the floor. Let's go. Here you are. That's the 1. Come on. There it is.
Mass, who's that gentleman yelling profanity at you?
That's my boyfriend.
He's very supportive. He is, what's his name? And he looks like a big
Ryan,
dude.
he's the best.
Yeah.
That's
What's
him
his
too,
name?
yeah. Ryan Reese.
Ryan Reese. Is he competitor too?
Yeah, he's 4 weeks out right now.
Oh, what show is he about to do?
He's doing PA Muscle first, and then he's doing North Americans in Pittsburgh in September.
So I got some news for you. I'm planning to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh, really? I'll be there.
Yes,
I'll be
yes. I'm
there
gonna be.
watching.
I'm going to check out the North Americans and the World Championships. I've never been up north. It's my first time going far up north. But
Okay.
here she is doing some posing because you got to really work your posing. She got nice glutes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a man. I'm gonna tell you, a woman got nice glutes. And and what's especially for yourself? What's that feeling for you? In the gym. What's the favorite thing you like to do when you're working out?
It's mostly just like tuning out the world, just doing my thing, just being strong. I just love training. I love pushing myself. I love like pushing the limits. I love training heavy. That's my jam.
Yeah. And which was your favorite workout? The one you like to do the most, and the one you say, you know what, I don't want to do shit today. Please don't let me do shit today, but you still do it anyway.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I love all of my workouts. The only thing that I really don't enjoy the most is arms because it's obviously like it's not as fun as like doing like a squat or something or like a bigger movement versus like a bicep curl, you know. But my arms do need to come up a lot, so they're a big focus for me right now.
Yeah, especially doing figure. I mean, doing physique, you want to be more full,
Yeah.
more definition. Where with figures, more like more slender look, more rounder shoulders,
Mhm.
width in the back. But with physique, you have to be an overall athletic, good conditioning.
Yeah.
Here she is having a little dinner. So
Yeah, that was a family dinner.
yeah, you must have had a good. Ooh, that's a nice cake. That's that
Oh,
Oreos.
that was the best cake I've ever made before. Yeah, it was an Oreo cake.
You made that?
Yeah, that bread was like it was stuffed with meatballs and cheese.
Yeah, and here she is, some pictures from the universe. Look really good. I mean, what was the critique from the judges after the show? Because I know quite a few competitors want to. I think Sandy was the head judge at that show, right?
No, it was I think Tyler Mannion was. It was Tyler Mannion, Steve Weinberger. Um, I forget who else was there, but I emailed them and I probably just got lost. I need to like personally DM one of them and like actually reach out to them through
Well, I know
there.
Tyler's gonna be busy this weekend because I think he's gonna be head judging at the Tampa, but Steve
Oh
probably
yeah,
got
I
the time,
understand.
and he's right there. His gym is right, not too far. I think he's up in I think it's Long Island. I think his gym's at.
Yeah. I think it's Long Island.
Here she is again.
He's in outside, and I'm just like walking up and down the strip mall, just trying. And I'm like, people probably think that I'm literally nuts. Like, what is this girl doing? Like, just walking up and down. This is probably the 20th time that I've gone back and forth. Don't worry about it, guys. You wouldn't get it.
you know, it's just just a young lady just out and about during the day, and then
Getting my steps in.
yeah, and here she is. She got the first cookie after the show.
That fucking shit right
Oh,
now.
that was so good.
Fully fucking enjoy that shit. Oh, that's a perfect.
First bite is a pro. First food is a pro. How much sweeter does it taste?
I bet that cookie was calling your name.
I know.
Yeah, so,
Fully.
and also we got a little video from the show. Can't play too much of music because YouTube is on the ass by here. And what was that
Yeah.
experience like? You felt like you were so close, especially doing switching and last minute doing physique. Do you feel like you were? What does that feel like? We told you you were now IFB Pro.
Um, I honestly, the first, like, when I was driving home from the show, I was like, just like, what just happened? It honestly didn't really hit me until like obviously like the next couple days. I was like reading everyone's messages, reading everyone's comments, and I was just like crying. I was like, oh God, it's like this is like it did not feel real. I was
Yeah.
thinking it's been something I've been like dreaming of since I was super young. So
And did win two pro cards because here she is. She wins in the win physique class, which I think which class was that?
it was open class B, I believe.
Hmm. And then you won in the figure class, and that was I think it was the same class. I believe a lady that interviewed a while back won her class, and then just winning two pro cards. That's it's astonishing. I interviewed one lady; she won three pro cards in the show, and I know one lady was there. She's making her pro debut, and that is the lovely Miss Amy Power.
Oh yeah, she looked crazy.
She's making a pro debut at Tampa, and she won four pro cards, and you went
Hmm.
head to head with Amy. Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. She looks really good. So we wait to see how she's gonna look this weekend at Tampa. I'm gonna check it out because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be there, but I'm gonna watch the live. So but this sport that I think people need to understand. There's more to it to being a bodybuilder than just taking the performance enhancers. It's about being consistent and working on a diet. Like, who's your coach right now?
I actually coach myself.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
I've talked to a couple of these that coach themselves, and that is really good. I mean, most people get a coach because they want to work on a few things, like especially you might miss something because sometimes you may not. And your boyfriend, he knows pretty much about the sport, so he has that extra eye. Sometimes people get a coach that really, understands the aspects of the sport. But coach
Mhm.
yourself and winning two pro cards, that's wow.
I was pretty freaking hyped. It makes
Yeah.
it that much sweeter that I did it myself too.
Yeah, but when you think like you want to get a coach, especially we start getting to because you got to think about it. As an amateur, you starting now. You got to start all over again when you get to
Yeah.
the IFBB.
I honestly know. I don't think I'll ever get a coach again.
Not again.
I
What
just really
happened?
don't. What do you
What
say?
happened? You said not again. What happened?
Nothing. No, nothing bad happened at all. I've had coaches in the past before. I worked with my first ever coach. I don't even know if he's still bodybuilding coaches, but his name was Nick Comedina. He was a big coach at the time. Obviously, I was a lot younger. Then I actually also worked with Cameron Cheek for a while. He was a great coach. I learned a ton from him. But neither one of them I never prepped with or anything. So all of my shows. Oh, my first show I had one of my like local friends kind of helped me out, and he coached me um just for my first show, and then everything else I did myself. So I did my first show, and then I worked with Cameron for I think close to two, maybe a year and a half, 2 years almost. And then everything else I did on my own.
That's pretty good. It also saves you a few bucks because you have to pay a coach.
They are
But
expensive.
you have a posing coach because you did your posing too.
So for figure, I used one of my good friends, Liana. She actually turned pro in figure. I think 5 years ago, I want to say. She's a great posing coach. She literally taught me all that I know about all my figure poses. She actually just did her pro debut as she switched over to wellness. So she took a super long time away from the stage. But she actually, I think it was last weekend, she just did her pro debut. So she helped me a ton with posing for figure. I didn't use her for this past prep because I felt pretty confident in my figure poses. But she helped me a ton for my first show and my second show, and she even helped me before I did North Americans last August.
Yeah, so wellness has become a very popular division. Congratulations for it. I hope how well did she do making her finally her pro debut?
I think she placed top 10 for wellness. So yeah, she looked really good.
Well, if you have interest in doing an interview, I would, I'd like to have some more wellness girls on here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a particular division that kind of it piques my interest, especially where I used to work at, because yeah. Anyway, shout out to my man, Black Panthers. I do not like fit model, women's wellness, women's bodybuilding, and women's physique are better divisions for women worldwide. Well, like I said again, I have nothing against too much about wellness, but fit model, excuse me. I'm not a big fan of it. I understand the purpose of it, the reason behind it, but I'm not a big fan. I've been watching bodybuilding for a long time, and I've seen how the sport evolve from the era of Rich McLeish to Corey Evenson, Linda Murray, to Iris Kyle, to Andrea, to
Mhm.
some other women who represent division. And I feel like when you bring a division in here, it doesn't take it long for it to evolve. Like you switched from figure to physique and got two pro cards in two different divisions. Like for you, pay attention to how the divisions have evolved over time since
Mhm.
you've been following for sport for a good while, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's like even I was talking to my mom about this too. It's like obviously she when she competed she did figure, but it's like her figure back then would probably be like bikini now. So it's like it's crazy, but I love it. So
well, the girls in bikini now could be full right with for figure, and you look at the girls in figure, they could be always women's physique. And we talk about Megan; she could do women's bodybuilding. You just saw
yeah.
Paula Ranta, a young lady who I got to meet while I was at Tampa last year. She's
Mm-hmm.
making her women's bodybuilding debut.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are excited about it. Not so much. I feel like she's like yourself. She's a young person. I think she needs more time to grow if she's going to
Mm-hmm.
jump in that division. She doesn't have a lot of the aesthetics. You look at some of the ladies competing this weekend at Tampa Women's Bodybuilding. They are a couple of ladies I've interviewed. They have that great muscle, that great graininess,
Mm-hmm.
muscle maturity, and she's like I think about your age. I think she's 26, 27,
Really?
and I think she needs that time to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing, and that's like another thing too. It's like you always hear people say, it's like, oh, like don't rush your off season because the stage will always be there. It's like obviously it's cool to be lead and stuff, but you definitely need to take that time away from the stage. So I do think it's definitely is necessary, even as a girl too. It's like obviously takes a little bit to get where you want to be.
Yeah, because one thing you look at it, men we're allowed to be muscular, masculine. As I say this quite often, men, our purpose in life is to build, battle, and die. That's it. And women, y'all are wives, our mothers, our sisters, our girlfriends, our nieces, our daughters. You are our home takers. You're the birth of our children. And to do a sport like this is very extreme, and that's why people kind of get like a gasp when they see a woman with muscle. But then
Mhm.
also to find something that you're passionate about. And again, this sport, it can be a lot, especially between training, dieting, sticking to a plan. Because sometimes life cannot be as planned. It's like my other guy says. He
Mhm.
says like this: "I don't have a plan, Jayna. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know when I get one."
There he is.
He comes out every night. But it's good that you're taking this time because you don't want to rush yourself because quite a few ladies tell me this is not a race; it's a marathon. You want to be able
Mhm.
to because I think a young lady she passed away was it last year
Mhm.
from I think it wasn't people talk about steroids. No, it was she was taking diuretics early and too early.
Mhm.
You have to be
Mhm.
smart when you do the sport.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And like you said, it's like I'm still so young too. It's like I'm only 24. And it's like I always like even like the last couple of shows that I did, it's like seeing like how many older women there were on stage that I was going up against. It's like, oh my gosh, like these ladies that I'm against are like almost the same age as my mom. Like thinking of it like that is like just puts like a whole new perspective on it too. Like obviously like having like the actual like density and maturity and stuff. So it was definitely crazy to see.
Last thing you want to say, hey, you remind me of my mom. What? But yeah, but like I said, 24. My God, what was it at 24? I was working, taking my mom. I mean, God, it seems like it's ages ago. I mean, God, I wish I could clock the back. I'm going to be 52 in the next few months. Ugh,
Really?
yeah, I'm over here. I got two bad knees. I Stone Cold Steve Austin and a pacemaker. So but we shout out to my man here, Black Panther. He says this. I appreciate your support, brother. Says George, you are the greatest. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, brother. Also, he says this. Andrea Shaw is the greatest women's bodybuilder. Is the greatest. Thank you, brother. Shout out to my KL the Wanderer. He says, I would love to taste your cooking, Jayna. Just don't kill me. LOL. Just joking. And also he got here one more. He says like this. He says, your Facebook been old since after 2016. I remember MySpace that when it was around. I mean, that was
Ooh.
I had an account for a bit, but I just wasn't into it as much. And for you, especially being a young person, is social media very important?
Yeah,
Um,
it's pretty much like my whole income, honestly. So it's definitely super important to me. Um, Even like now, like obviously, like since I work on TikTok, I've been posting like a lot. A lot of my content is on there. But actually, right now, I'm working on transitioning that over to my Instagram as well. So it definitely is big for me.
yeah,
Even like for
yeah,
coaching too, it's like obviously the more exposure you put yourself out there, um, the more people are drawn to you and like actually
mm,
know about you. It's like you don't post yourself, then nobody knows. So
yeah, because I think it's like a tool and also can be a weapon. I mean, some people use it against you, but also it's a great to get across. Because think about it. Back in the day, you used to call a person on the phone, or you send them a letter,
mhm,
or beat drums or send smoke signals. That's how I communicate. But
mhm,
now we're doing this. We're talking. You're already in New Jersey. I'm here in North Carolina, and we're
mhm,
like hundreds of miles away from each other, and we're using this tool, which is StreamYard, which is I use for my do my interviews and talking
mhm,
live. I mean, for me, this is something really I'm really been catching on to the last few years just to be a content maker.
mhm.
Shout out to my man here, Ryan Lake. He says this. Give me a second. He says, hello, Jayna Ferri. And also to my
Uh,
man KL Wonder, he says this. He says, no, he's an oddball, but I leave him alone since he's entertaining you, Jayna. She's entertained. You can go
Stay
someplace else.
entertained.
My man Kayla, he's a fan of the sport, not so much the sport, but he's a fan of you ladies, and
Mhm,
he's supportive of my. We cut up a bit, but he supports me. I support him. We
for
have
sure.
here another comment. This is from uh, Marco. He says, "This congratulations to Jayna after getting pro card at Universe. I competed in the same competition as her last year in Pennsylvania." All right,
Oh
yeah,
shit!
congratulations.
Was it PA Muscle or was it North Americans?
I had to say, let me see. He hadn't left any comments for it because we were in the live a while ago into the probably this is a little bit late, but I probably missed him. He'll probably pop up and submit something later. But we do have quite a few here. He says, "My man Ryan Lake, congratulations, Jayna, on getting your pro card."
Thank you.
Also, Ryan says this, Marco, congratulations on you to you, sir. We got here. Lizard says, "Hi, Jayna." And he says,
Liz.
it's Lizzie. Liz. Oh, she's a friend of yours?
Liz, yeah, she watches like I was telling you about my full time job doing the lives for Aries Nutrition. She watches me on there a lot too.
Yeah, that's good. Good to have the support, especially on social media.
Definitely.
And she's on YouTube. So Liz, I appreciate y'all for coming through and watching the live. We have here. This is from Exotic. I think that's his name. So it's interesting. Also, Liz says, "Go girl." Yeah, thank you, Liz. And she says, "That's my bestie." And she says TikTok. And also he says this. This from man Exotica. He says she needs a coach. They're all women do. Well, she says she's doing fine on her own, man. So
It's true.
maybe maybe when she gets further along. Especially if she gets to, especially start climbing up the ladder, she might think about it. But right now, she's working fine what she got. Shout out to my man
Yes.
Marco. He says, PA.
Okay, PA muscle. Nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Hey. I mean, I tell you, I got a lot of people here who want to ask questions, and we're excited about you. But for you, like, what's what's if you had a choice to make in your life, would you really want to do this? How long you think you have for as a bodybuilder?
I don't know. I just want to take it as far as I can. No
Mhm.
specific timeline in my head.
Well, like I said, you're young. You're 24. You got the world on your shoulder. I mean,
Yeah.
you know when I hear somebody that young, I say, you know what? You can step away, and you and your man can have a little, young ones, and you can come back whenever you're ready. Because I know ladies who stepped away from the sport and came
Uh-huh.
back and really like. One example is Andrea Shaw. She stopped. She competed for a good while, and took some years off, came back, and now she's the current Miss Olympia, about to go in for a
Hmm.
seventh title.
Hmm. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I always have like the utmost respect for women who have had kids and then like compete again after. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough balance to be a woman in sport and also to maintain a family, also to maintain a career and a job. And
Yeah.
I say this is a expensive sport, especially as an amateur. But now you're pro. The thing's going to get a little more steeper in cost because
Mhm.
I say like this for your boyfriend, he's put a pair of banana hammers and boy shorts. He has his stuff when he's prepping during the season. But then when for you ladies, show day is a big expense.
Oh gosh, it definitely is. The suit, the hair, the makeup, the tan. It's like the boy suits are like 50, $60. I'm like, mine is like $1,000. I'm like, what is this about?
Yeah. And you have a Pacific suit designer?
For my last show, I used Toxic Angels. I have also used Angel Competition bikinis in the past before, so I've used both before.
It's probably, I think that's the thing about this because you have to be very presentational, especially for the
Hmm.
women. The guys got to come out there, look all buff and huge, wearing, but women, you have to have that, walk that fine line between femininity and muscularity. You have to,
Yeah.
like one lady told me today, especially if you're doing division like either figure or physique, you have to be very feminine, very flirtatious.
Hmm.
Especially when you're doing the pose routine, because that's one thing you have to learn. You have to do a pose routine.
Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a big one too.
Yeah. We got here a comment from a man, Marco. Give me time to get my old man glasses on. He says this. Uh, Given the structure and presentation differences between figure and women's physique, how do you adjust your posing, energy, and stage execution when switching back and forth on show day? Hey, that's a lot, brother. Thank you. We appreciate those questions.
Ooh. So honestly, obviously like Universe was the first show where I did both. So I actually went on stage for Physique first. Um, it was pretty honestly, it was pretty similar. Like obviously the Physique has a more mandatory poses than figure, but the first four mandatory poses are very similar to the figure mandatory poses. So those I was pretty much good on, and then the next five after that is pretty much what I had to learn. Um, but pretty much kind of like the same, like I guess like flow and like transition like between like my mandatory poses. And then I would say the biggest adjustment for me from like figure to physique was physique, you pick a song like obviously for your routine. Like figure, you just kind of go out and do your individual routine and then that's it. So I would say that was the biggest adjustment. And they also gave us I know normally like usually they'll do like I guess it kind of depends on the show. They actually like changed it on the show day. First they told us we were gonna have like 25 seconds and then it was a full minute um for the routines. So I ended up doing a full minute of the routine on stage. So I feel like that was the biggest adjustment was just like the music. But other than that, it's like kind of same difference. And then obviously figure I have to wear the heels. Physique I don't, but I would say I like present myself in the same way, same kind of transitions between poses and stuff too. But definitely the music and the heels. Biggest differences.
Yeah, with figure is just mostly just about the quarter turns, quarter turns to the
Yeah.
right, turn quarter to the right. But with physique, you have the five mandatories, which is the front double, you have the side
Hmm.
chest, you have
Yeah.
tricep, you have the rear double, you have ab and thigh,
Hmm.
and also when you do the presentation, you want to very something very that can get the attention of the crowd, and
Yeah.
and winning in your both of those, winning your class and also getting your pro card class is pretty good. I mean, this is not a sport for everybody, but once you understand the nuances and what's involved doing it can be pretty easy, but it just takes
Mhm.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the name of the game. It's got to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, we have a comment for your friend here, Liz. The lizard says, "Hello." So hello, appreciate
Hi,
it.
Liz.
Yeah, and and for you as a competitor, what do you feel like the thing that really, what can really help you get to that next level? That like it won't be long for you, because as 2027 is around the corner. It won't be
Hmm.
long for 2028. What do you feel like that thing that can really help you to get to that next level?
I think honestly, just giving myself just the time to grow, just the maturity, the density is probably the biggest thing. Especially like I was like doing my pro debut, like that's like my first pro show, so I don't want to go up there all willy nilly. I feel like oh, I should have taken a longer off season. So, just growing. I'm excited to grow. That's like my favorite part. It's like training, eating. So yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that's
It's also being, you want to be smart, take your time,
yeah,
and you don't want to rush into something just because, hey, now you're a pro, you're gonna do this, you got that. Nah, let me just take my time. I know ladies who
yeah.
took I met a lady, she's from upstate, she's from New York, and not too far from Jersey. She got a pro card back in 2014 and
Mhm.
didn't make her pro debut till last year. She did at least a couple of shows. Her name is
Wow.
April Cosmato, and amazing lady. She has a great physique, some of the best set of abs I've seen. I got to see her
Mhm.
in person, up close and personal. And she took that time off because things happen in life, and then she said, "We know what? I was ready to come back." And she's also planning maybe competing this year.
Mhm.
It's about timing. It's about patience, discipline, and
Mhm.
also being consistent because most people don't realize that there's so much to it that involves the bodybuilder.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It's like literally like a full time job in itself.
But it's sad thing is it's not a job where you can really make a depending on who you are and if
Yeah.
you're some of the top Olympians, you can make a living off it. But the rest of y'all kind of just scrounging. It's a good thing you have a job.
Yeah.
You have to be smart. You have to be precision because it goes back to the cost of just the suits, the makeup, the hair,
Mhm.
the tan, then also traveling to the shows. You compete
Mhm.
in two different classes, so you have to have pay entry
Oh
fees.
god, yeah, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to a lady. She competed last weekend at the USA's, and she's had to spend so much money because between doing the class, she had to pay tickets for a coach, her husband, and also her other coach,
Oh my
and
gosh.
that's a big expense.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a friend tell me like this. Sometimes you may have to steal from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. It definitely is not cheap.
Not
And like
cheap.
you said, like the girls too, it's like have everything else in between to pay for too. So
Yeah, because you're buying suits that might be a car note, you rent, a mortgage like that, but it's a
yeah.
part of your equipment, like much as the high heels. It's part of what makes you as a competitor.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Marco here. He's jumping in. He uh, says, what was the single biggest adjustment you made on prep that elevated your condition to pro winning level?
Honestly, I don't think there was anything like specific that I could pinpoint. Um, Even like last year I did North Americans. I was definitely was pretty lean there. Obviously, I was leaner at junior nationals, and then my feedback for going into junior nationals to universe, which obviously I only had like 10 days in between, was coming a little bit tighter. So I really dug that whole week. Um, and that was universe was definitely the leanest I've ever been before. But really nothing crazy. Honestly, I think the biggest difference this prep, I never do any cardio. So the biggest difference this prep was that I added steps in as a just like another way to burn more calories for my last 6 weeks of prep, which I definitely do think helped me dig out like that last little bit of body fat that I had on me. So that's really the only like newer thing that I put in for this prep. But definitely universe was the leanest I've ever been before.
Yeah, I remember when I used to repair the people, see those people in the step ladders. I'm rubbing my knees, say, "Nah, I can't do that. I can't." I used to do the bike, or maybe I do the treadmill, but that treadmill could really jar your knees and everything else. Shout out to my man Lawrence Perkins coming through. Thank you, brother. Is he coming through here? He says, "Good afternoon, Jayna, George, and everyone on the chat." Thank you, brother. Shout out
Good
to
afternoon.
Liz. She says, "This says so, Jayna. Uh, what's the next plan?" Now, like you said earlier, she's taking this year off and she's going to make her debut in 2028. She wants a nice, long, smart off season. Again, you don't want to rush this because, I've seen some competitors who try to do it, especially your young person. Sometimes your young people like things quick, fast, in a hurry, but you're being
Yeah,
smart, you're being strategic.
yeah, I definitely like, especially like I said, like how at the other shows, so I saw like how many like older women there were too. It's like obviously like they have that maturity on me that like I can't just like build that overnight. So definitely need the time to grow.
Yeah, because you're still pretty much a baby. So,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
it's a baby in the bodybuilding
you,
world.
just a baby. I know your mama say, "That's my baby out there." That's that. Did she go? She come to show your mom, your dad?
Yeah, yeah, they were at Universe. Just as they were, it was not a far drive at all. It was like an hour for them, so they were at Universe.
I know that they were happy, applauding, cheering you, and your mom says, "That's my baby." Your dad says, "That's my little girl." And your man's right there, say, "Yeah, that's my woman." And then some weird freak say, "Hey, she's a cute little blonde little thing." And your boyfriend say, "Hey, I handle him." you know, but it's good, most definitely. Like, what's your family structure like? Is you, your mom, your dad, who else?
And then I have a younger brother too. He's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, yeah. I have a younger brother. He's 3 years younger. I have me. I have my parents kind of expansive. When my parents together, they had six of us, and then my father had a son before he married my mom. I have an older brother, and after they
Mm.
broke up, I have a younger sister. And right now, it's only four of us. Actually, six of us left because I had a couple of siblings pass. But it's
Oh,
good
I'm
to have.
sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And my mom, she was my woman. I took care of her for the last 5 years before she passed. And
Hmm.
when I started doing this content was because I was dealing with her being sick and taking care of her. And as she was gone, I really focused myself to doing this. Like you focus as a bodybuilder. For me, this is my purpose. This is something that I
Hmm.
really enjoy doing. Like
Yeah.
like as you enjoy getting up, you know, you have to go lift weights and you do this and did that, and be tired, be bored, but you do it because, like some ladies tell me, they do it because they love it.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So we're not going to hold Jenna much longer, and we do appreciate time she's given us. Again, congratulations on getting her a pro card. I mean, this is back in the day, it used to be a lot harder to get a pro card, but now you have shows like Universe, you have North America's around the corner. Just
Hmm.
USA's this past weekend. The Nationals coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah.
If you couldn't get your pro card at Universe, would you going to do North Americans again?
I was it was an option in my mind, but I was thinking of since that was like I think it's I forget how many weeks exactly it was between Universe and North Americans, but I was probably gonna like reverse for a little bit and then start digging again and do North Americans. But it was an option in my mind, but there was nothing set in stone. I was pretty much banking on Universe. I was
Where
like,
the
this
bank
is it.
Well, the bank paid off for you. We have here a comment. Shout out to my man here, Marco. He's been sticking in here. He says this. He says, since you already proven you have muscle density and structure to excel in women's physique, is stepping into women's bodybuilding down the road something you considered as your pro debut?
No, I don't think so. I honestly think I can go super far in physique, and I think that I have a lot of still have a ton of room for growth in the division. So I don't think women's bodybuilding will be in the future.
I can understand. I think it's not for everybody. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and some women are not comfortable putting that much mass.
Yeah.
Recently, one lady I follow, Christina Mendoza, she also switched from women's bodybuilding. She went all the way down to wellness. I've
Mhm.
seen her. She looks really good. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I think I know that name.
yeah, Chris. Yeah, she's right. She works and training with one lady making her debut, Rania. She's making a debut at Tampa. No, she already did Tampa. I was there when she made a debut at Tampa, but she's coming back at
Mhm.
Tampa. Um, I like one example. Shanique Grant. She was the women's physique champion twice at Olympia. Now she's going. She went down to wellness and
Mhm.
other competitors. I think after a time, because I remember some ladies who were doing women's bodybuilding, but because there were so few shows, they get pushed out to
Mhm.
Olympia and all the classic, they went down to women's physique. And I think that would kind of change the look of the division. We have these ladies coming from that
Yeah.
division down to that. And then you
Mhm.
have fit model, excuse me, ha, point, coming in, and you having girls coming from the open bikini division going to that division. And
Yeah.
and I think that's a problem. I think one thing we talk about on my channel, we do a live talk about this, that the judging should be the stick with the criteria of the division. Like you saw Sarah Bradley, who competed a couple of shows, she won the Ultima, and then she got fourth at Toronto. Now she's making her move to jump over to women's bodybuilding. Paula Ranta, I don't think she's gonna be there too long. She just did it because I feel like she didn't do too well in New York. She won two shows already, but then come second Chicago to someone like Brooke Walker, and Brooke has an amazing body. I mean,
Yeah, she looks super good.
yeah, and I think it's about what fits for you as a competitor. If you feel like you're coming in women's physique overdoing figure because you don't want to do high heels anymore,
Mm.
okay. But I think it's about taking that time to grow. And again, I said like this, and I know people say, "Don't put out she's young." Yes, she's young, and as a young person, your body's still developing, still growing. It doesn't hit to that point where you hit to like the 30s, where they kind of, you don't heal as fast like you used to. You can get up like you can get up, run all day, all night, and then some days I get up, and I say, ah, they bones. Your parents can testify to this.
Yeah,
You know,
everything hurts.
yeah. So I'm asking this last question: what would you want for yourself out of your bodybuilding future?
I mean, it would definitely be super cool to step on the Olympia stage. That would definitely be huge. But regardless, I just want to just take the sport as far as I can, do as much as I can. Obviously, well, I know this is such like a short part of my life, like in the retrospect of things. So just take it as far as I can, enjoy myself, and have fun with it.
Yeah, that's sport. And also, I got to ask this question as a fat man. After
Yes.
that long prep, and you got the
Ooh.
chance to eat. What was that
Yes.
thing? Other than that cookie, what was that thing that was calling you?
All right,
That
so
was calling your name.
so I'm a huge sweets person. Like I literally like I do not care for savory foods. Obviously I enjoy them, but I'm a huge sweets gal. So literally all I wanted after the show was just cookies, brownies. That's literally all I wanted. So I was so tired after like the actual show day. So we didn't go like actually out to eat anywhere. What I did was obviously I had that cookie and then I stopped at the store on my way back and I just got whatever I wanted and then I just sat and just ate what I wanted. It's like little treats like brownies, cookies, donuts. That was like my holy grail. And then actually a week later I had like an actual meal. I got sushi. Like not just like we don't play about our cheat meals around here either. So it was a hefty amount of sushi, which is very strange for me because normally I'm like a burger, fries, pancake type of gal, but I got sushi this time. I don't know why I was craving it.
You're not the only one. I have interviewed a couple ladies that says they love sushi. Ma'am, I grew up country, and never in my life I ate cold raw fish. So that's not my thing. I
Totally
mean,
new concept.
yeah, you better put in some grease or something, or
Yeah.
boil or something. Nah. But yeah, I mean, I interviewed a lady who also competed there at Universe, Alexis Boana. She also is a big cookie brownie. She loves brownies.
Yeah.
She's also competing. I remember she showed a picture of her eating brownies after a show. I mean,
Mm,
I like sweets. I gotta be careful. I'm pre-diabetic, but it's just something
mm.
sweet for me. But one thing also, as being a competitor, are you sponsored?
Yeah, I have a supplement sponsor and then also a peptide sponsor.
That's good because that does cover the cost of between training to travel to, as you know, now you're a pro. Unless you do masters, you don't have to worry about paying entry fees anymore. But you
Mhm.
do have to pay that pro card every year, and
Yeah.
it helps to have sponsors support you. If I could do this, if I could do this, this is my little thing I like to do. If I could do this is a what if. If I could sponsor athletes like yourself, and I approach you, young Miss Ferri, we
Mhm.
see your story and how you, as a young age, be inspired by your mother to be in bodybuilding,
Mhm.
and we'd like to sponsor you as an athlete. So if you feel like our product is comfortable for you in your development, we would love for you to be an ambassador with our company. So let us know whenever you feel like you'd be interested in, and if we have a good agreement, we can have a relationship. And it's both for us and it's for you as an ambassador. So let us know,
Mhm.
madam, if you feel like it's something that might interest you.
I feel like, especially like obviously, like you said, like bodybuilding, like there's not a lot of like, even at the top levels, you don't make a lot of money from the sport. So definitely something that's lacking.
Yeah, I think if there's anything, I think, but many ladies they do it for the passion, but you know what? It'd be nice to have a little something in your pocket in a day,
Yes.
where, you travel to the show, hey, cover the cost of my motel fees, cover my plane costs, cover where if I want to eat out somewhere,
Hmm.
those things help because again, you're putting money into it, but not getting as much back. It's just the pleasure of doing it, but still, that's why I consider more of a hobby than a sport. Even as a
Yeah.
professional sport, you can make a living, but again,
Mm-hmm.
you do this because it's a passion that you have drive for ever since you were a little girl.
100%.
So we're gonna hold Jana for too much longer. Do you have anybody you want to shout out?
I would say just my supplement sponsor. I'm Immortal Supplements. The owner is Pat. Again, he's the same guy who owns Aries Nutrition. He's obviously been a huge part of like my bodybuilding journey too along the way. So for him for sure. The peptides that I currently use are from Vein peptides. Them as well, and then obviously also my boyfriend has been a huge support to me my whole journey, my whole prep. So him as well. And then his page is Ryan Reese. Is his name.
All right, appreciate that. Shout out to her sponsors and bet you know we have from your friend Liz. She says Aries. Hey,
Yes.
yeah, thank you, Liz. Thank you for coming through. So, folks, again, one congratulations, young lady. She is now IFBB Pro, and she says she's going to make her debut in 2028. You want to do New York? You feel like you want to jump on another show after New York?
I probably will run it up. I don't know what yet, but we'll see. But 100% it'll be more than one show. So
Yeah. Well, like I said, give some time. You can, like I said again, there's quite a few shows. Like I said, New Jersey, you can drive up to Toronto. There's a Toronto Super Show. That's not too far
hmm
from you. There's Chicago. There's quite a few
hmm
shows for women's disease compared to women's bodybuilding. We've been
yeah.
losing a few shows here and there, but we hope maybe next year we can pick up a few. Shout out to Anastasia Ryder who helped, give women's bodybuilding fighting chance when she created the GoFundMe. Shout out to other people like my friend Eunice, who's sponsoring women's bodybuilding at the upcoming Atlanta Pro. I would say like this: we really need people who want to support these men and women to do this sport. This is
hmm
this is a tough sport for anybody, but guys, the guys out there, and I know you love these big, buff, beautiful women. Don't be that weird guy who says, "Hey, Jenna, I'm gonna send you a little picture of something." So
Nope.
and she has a very big boyfriend.
That's true.
I wouldn't want to be saying, "Hey, whoa, oh shit." So, I mean, it'd be on some kind of a IG YouTube reel. Some guy say, say, "Ooh, that motherfucker broke up."
Yeah, and
Uh,
toss it around.
yeah, be smart, guys. Be gentle. Shout
True.
out to Liz. Says you are welcome. You're welcome too, ma'am. Thank you for it. I appreciate y'all coming through. Again, I want to shout out my guests that were in here, the live. Shout out to Liz. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer, Black Panther, Marco, also my man Lawrence Perkins. All you who watch, follow, subscribe, and check out this channel. Again, if you're interested in supporting Jayna in her upcoming season in 2028, reach out and join interest. If you're someone who really wants to see a young lady evolve and grow in the sport, and maybe really, this is one thing: support is important. This is a tough sport. This sport can be mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially draining on anybody who gets into it. If you have that means and ways to do that, please do. But if you are somebody who don't and you're kind of weird or something, or you're a hater, move on. Get your
Move
life.
on with your day.
Yeah. So young lady, I appreciate your time and congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on here.
I pleasure. And the quote from my man, The Dark Knight, he says this at the end of the movie. Says, "You never have to," because anytime somebody says thank you, I say you never have to, because this is why this just gives me a pleasure to give women like yourself a voice to share with people out there. Shout out to my man David. He's gonna be at Tampa. Check out him. If you're a competitor, check him out. He's a great guy. He drew me around once in Tampa. He took me to the train station. I really think he's my brother, but I told him to keep his hand off my girl. He knows better. I'm sorry. I can't let it go. We'll be cool. We're brothers. We love each other, but sometimes women can get in the way of between
And
friendships.
podcast wars.
Yes. So, hey, folks, we like to say thank you to Jayna. Wish you best of luck in the upcoming future. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting my channel. And we see. Hopefully, we see each other soon, because again, I'm going to be Pittsburgh. Check out the North Americans and the Master World Championships, folks. And if you are a competitor and want to do a little silo talk with me, I'm happy to have you all as a guest. So this is Mal Always Joe Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Not good luck. God bless. I'll see y'all next time.